all well. If you are new around here, hello, it is lovely to meet you, and if you are returning, thank you very fucking much for coming back. My name's Alana, I'm a 36-year-old lady living in Scotland, and that's where my accent is from. And on this channel we predominantly talk all things beauty, skincare, hair care, lifestyle, travel-y, bloggery, vloggery bullshit, but with a liberal sprinkling of sarcasm and some might say cynicism thrown in on top. Now I do like a sweary word on this channel, so if you're not into that kind of thing, I completely understand. Please feel free to vacate. But if you don't mind the odd F-bomb, there is a little subscription button in the corner, give it a wee thumbs up, all that other YouTuber crap. Anyway, this video is going to be my yearly roundup video. I've done these, I want to say going on 4 years now. However, this year I was like, do you know what, I wrote a list. I was like, right, I'm going to stick specifically to the things that I've just been using loads. I did write them down, and then I thought, do you know what though? There's so many other products that I really want to talk about this year because I maybe didn't wear them every single day of the year, but they made an impression. So we've went from picking up 2 lipsticks to about 10. So I can see this video being quite lengthy. What I'm going to suggest is that you grab yourself a tea, a coffee, a cuppa, a fucking Bailey's, whatever the fuck you like, and let's just get into this. So as I said, I was kind of like, do you know what, we'll start off with bases. I'm only going to talk about the bases I've been wearing. And on the daily, I think you're aware of this, I'm not a big foundation wearer. I don't have foundation on today. I don't wear loads of base products. So first of all, I want to talk about this. And I think in previous years, I've always spoke about Glossier Future Dew as one of my kind of favourite glowy, dewy, primary, basey type of products. But this year, the Beauty Bay Glow Filter, it's knocked it out of the park. It's knocked it out the park. They are different, they're not the same. I would say that the Future Dew is a little bit more pink toned. This comes in different colours as well, I should say. This one is BB 102. It is slightly warm for me, but I don't mind being a little warmer than a little paler because I'm already as pale as a ghost, as you can probably see. So this is their Glow Filter. Wear alone or for glowing skin under makeup. It's a dewy base. If I am going to be wearing makeup, let me say it's even just a really simple makeup for work, I'm putting this on because it just gives radiance and life to the skin, a little bit of a tint, something there. It's gorgeous. On the days where I feel like I am going to be wearing a foundation, I'm probably still putting this underneath. I want to say I picked this up during the summer, so it's been on my radar now for at least 6 months. Let's put it that way. If I can find the video where I first tried it, I'll stick it up here somewhere. I'm going to say that a lot in this video, and I'm not going to lie, it means that I would have far too many cards in the corner. So if I do say that, I'll link the video down below so you can go and check them out if you want to. But this is fantastic. It is really, really reasonable, very affordable, a lovely product. Again, just in case you are new around here, I have normal leaning to dry skin and I am 36, nearly 37 years old. So for me, this is really, really effective and really, really suitable. If you are somebody who has more oily prone skin and you don't like that super dewy or glowy look, maybe not for you. But I think even under a foundation that has more of a satin, it would give you a lovely glow and shine through underneath that as well. I think this is phenomenal and it has absolutely knocked my Glossier Future Dew out of the park. I will probably not buy Glossier Future Dew again in future. I think I will pick this up. It's just really, really nice. So moving on from that, like I say, is it any surprise? Glossier Stretch. Glossier Stretch is usually my base product the majority of days of my life if I'm wearing makeup. As you can see, this one here is well and truly on the way to being finished. I have another one of these. This one is G11, which is slightly lighter, and I have G10 for the summer months because my skin does take a bit of a tan. It's amazing. I will continue to buy it. It is my favourite concealer product and I can use it on like kind of spots, dark patches and under eyes. This is my favourite ever under eye concealer. I don't think I will ever change my mind on that. I hope it never disappears. It's fantastic. However, I'm quite happy to use it all over the face as well, although it doesn't have amazing coverage. I've said that before. It's definitely more of a sheer look. So if you do have darker areas or spots, actually this might not do the job for you in those areas. And I'm totally open to that kind of criticism about it. But for me, fantastic. I love it. And earlier in the year, I tried the brand Merit and I picked up this. This is the Minimalist Stick and I picked this up in linen. In hindsight, I feel like linen, just a little dark for me. But again, it's one of those ones you can't see it in a shop yet. I would like to see what the one before it, I think, was it Sand Dune or something? I just can't remember the fucking names. The one before it, I feel might do that thing where it's just a little bit too light for me. That's it here. And if that is the case, then I'd rather go with a darker one and just kind of bronze my face up a wee bit. I really like this. I have never liked a stick foundation before, ever, ever, ever. And this is really, really nice. Just a little nod as well that number 7 do a stick version of a concealer. I think it's the Stay Perfect Concealer Stick. It's smaller than this, but they're quite similar. Good like for likeness, and it's obviously a little bit cheaper. So, you know, if you've thought, you know, I'm not into a stick concealer, I'm not sure if I'm going to like that, I don't know if I would buy the full size of the Merit one. I'm just saying to you, the number 7 one is a pretty good dupe for it. However, I love this product. I really like it. The only fault that I do have about it is, and I spoke about it at the time and since buying it, this whole bit here fell out, okay? So that happened about 3 weeks into purchasing it. I reached out to Merit, I showed them photos, I said, this has just happened, pretty unimpressed if I'm honest with you. They sent me out a new one straight away. I actually subsequently sent that on to Michaela McDade, because I can't remember why we were talking or how we got chatting about it, and I was like, let me send, she wanted to try Merit, and I was like, please let me send you this. I have 2 of them now. There's no way I'll get through them. So I passed it on to her, and I thought it would probably work for her shade as well. Like, I think she's slightly darker, than, like maybe more kind of because of her colouring of her hair. I look paler, but we probably aren't that different in a shade, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I gave it to her and she said she quite liked it too. And it's annoying because as somebody who also loves a budget beauty realm, this is an expensive product, and I did say as well that, you know, you maybe need to be looking at your component, because the price that somebody's paying for this, that shouldn't be happening, it shouldn't be falling out. However, the product itself is really, really good. I don't really have any issue with it just totally falling out. I have to kind of work it up and then do it. It did initially just fall out, but now it seems to be okay. So I have gave you a word of warning about that before. However, the product is really, really nice. And this is probably one that I've been using a little bit more regular if I want that little bit more coverage. If I want a full coverage, now I mean full coverage for me. Not full coverage as in like this is a full coverage foundation. Full coverage for me. If I'm putting on a full face of makeup, then it's going to be this. I have spoken about this for years. It used to be in a black packet with like blue at the top, and this is the new packaging. This is probably the 3rd one I've ever purchased, and it is fantastic. It is the number 7 from Boots Hydra Luminous Foundation. It says it's a medium coverage. I would probably agree with that, but I think it is medium to sheer. Like, you can build it up to medium, or you can just put on a little bit and sheer it out, and it's nice and kind of just a wash of colour as well. I think you can get a bit of both out of it. It does have an SPF of 15, but I would always be saying put on your SPF of 50 regardless. This is a beautiful foundation. It is amazing. I have spoke about it in previous years. I mean, if I have been making kind of yearly favourites now for 4 to 5 years, let's just say that, I'm pretty sure this was here in the first like 2 to 3. I'm absolutely certain of it. I can't remember if I spoke about it last year because I probably didn't use it as much. I bought the new packaging and was like, I'm going to get into this again because I've seen other people speaking about it. It's lovely. It's such a nice foundation. Very natural looking, very skin-like. Doesn't feel heavy, and that's exactly the kind of thing I want for my skin, especially if I'm wearing a foundation. 2 even lighter options than that I wore more in the summer were the Chanel Le Beige Water Tint. This is not a coverage. There is no coverage to this. It is purely a skin tint. I've spoken about this a few times. As you can see, I've made a pretty decent dent out of it. It's up to here, and I have to say, this for the summertime, again, perfection. I would absolutely put this on and then this over the top. Sometimes I just use this on its own. It's a great, great product. I love it for the summertime because I just feel like as if I need a little something on my skin, especially when I've got a little bit more colour on my skin as well. It's already seen the sun. This is just something but nothing. And I get it. It's expensive. And I completely understand why some people might be like reviewing this and saying it does nothing. Don't waste your money. I can imagine there will be people out there who have gave it that review. But again, for me, who doesn't like lots of coverage, just wants a hint of something on the skin, doesn't mind a little bit of a tint, I love it. I think it's so nice. I think it's so, so nice. This alongside some Glossier Stretch, and I'm done. Great. And this as well from Danessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. Very similar, although this does have a little tiny bit more coverage. I have the shade 3. I think my true colour match would probably be 2, but again, like I said, I really, really enjoy having a little bit more kind of warmth to my skin, maybe just because of my dark hair. I feel like it's better suited than looking sick. And it does have a little bit more coverage, but it is very sheer, very sheer. I feel like if I'm thinking of these two together, this one definitely has more coverage. This one is a little bit more like a tinted moisturiser situation. It is a serum, but very, very nice. And I wore that throughout the summer as well. Now, just before I move on to things like cheeks, bronzers, all that other kind of stuff, I am briefly going to mention a powder, because it's the only one I've really used this year. It's the Glossy Powder. I have been using this now, what is this? So it's a 12-month lifespan. I'm not gonna lie, I've probably been using this for the better part of going on 2 years. Not gonna lie, maybe a year and a half. But if you look here, you can see there, like that's where it's full to. So I am only like, you know, a third into it, I would say. And there's still plenty left. That just is a testament to how much I very rarely wear powder. And this powder is perfect. I love it. It is exactly the kind of powder I want for my type of skin. I think it's fantastic. I won't need to buy one every 6 months because I don't use it that often, but fantastic, really like it. That's all I've got to say about powder because I very rarely wear it. All right, let's quickly talk about bronzers because again, I don't think there'll be any shock here. This is the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer. I picked this up in July of this year, I want to say. I am just winding it down so you can see how much I have used since July. So now my hands are covered in what looks like probably shite. I'm gonna have to wash my hands because it's gonna look very odd. Anyway, if you look here, you will see I have used this practically, look at my hand, practically every day since I first started using it. It gets whipped out. I love it. It is a fantastic product. I actually was speaking to Michaela about this as well. I remember when Milk launched these. I remember in the big influencers where they were all getting sent for free and all that kind of stuff. And these were chunky. These were like chunky little sticks. They were like meaty little sticks. And I remember people saying how much they loved it. However, it was taking too long to get through it before it started to smell a bit funny and not be quite right. Now it says the lifespan on this is 12 months as well. And this is the 5.7 grams, so let's round it up to 6 grams. That is 0.19 ounces for anybody that works that way. I don't. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, so basically, I heard lots of people saying when it was the really, really chunky big one, they were loving it, but maybe they got like halfway through it or a third of the way through it, and then they were like, oh, it smells a bit funny now, I'm gonna have to bin it. I think what Milk done was take that feedback, because I heard so many people saying that, and decided to make the mini size their full size. I'm not sure what that done in a price range, because I think these are around about the £20 to £22 mark for the mini, which isn't cheap, but it's also not super expensive either. It's not like 40 quid. Do you know what I mean? But I genuinely used to think this was the mini until when I started looking it up after I bought it. Actually, you don't get the bigger size anymore. This is the full size now, the 6 gram one. And I'm kind of glad about that as well, because I know I'm going to get through this before the 12 months is up and if it starts to smell a bit funny, because I have already got through at least half of it since July. So I think that's been a good move on their part, but it is a fantastic bronzer. Fantastic cream bronzer. I love it. I also want to give a shout out to this one. This is a very, very affordable brand. This is Studio London by Superdrug. And I have to say, this bronzer is gorgeous. So, so nice. I think I've spoke about Danessa Myricks. What were they called now? Oh, I've totally forgotten. She done like this bronzery brick thing. I can't remember what they're called. I'm so sorry. If I can remember the name, it'll be on the screen somewhere. I'll put a photo here if I can find it. And I remember trying the Danessa Myricks one, but the colours were all just a little bit off for me. They just didn't go with my skin tone. It didn't suit me. And this is a very similar texture to the Danessa Myricks one, but the tones are better. I have the shade number 4. This works really well for me. In the winter, this might be a little warm on me, but during the summer months, as you can see, I panned this. I bought this year. It was panned by summertime. I used it loads. Very, very affordable. I want to say this is £4 or £5. Fucking fantastic. Actually, this whole brand, fantastic. I've got a few other bits here from them from throughout the year, and I have to say, really impressed with this little brand. Really, really like them. And this product here is probably one of the standouts. And then for powder bronzer, I don't think you're going to change my mind. it's going to be the Vive again. I have two of these. I've spoken about it before. I have the light and the medium. This is currently light 1 and medium 2 because these are the two. The tone works best for me. This one in the summer is better obviously because it's darker. This one works all year round and that's why I've panned it. And I just have to say it's a fantastic bronzer. It is pricey, it is more expensive. The packaging is beautiful, all that kind of stuff. I do still have my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in my drawer. It has also been panned. I hit pan on that as well. I think that was the second one that I hit pan on. So I was using that earlier in the year too. However, I feel like that very much just got kind of pushed back to the back of the drawer. And with the other ones I was using, the cream ones and things, it hasn't seen the light of day for 6 to 8 months, I want to say. So this one, definitely shout out for the powder. Now for blushes, I think you know me enough that I could sit and talk about blush all day, pretty much all day. And even though I own a million cream blushers, I still end up buying more cream blushers, even though I'm never going to get through the ones I've got, even though, you know, I found the ones that I love, I still purchase more liquid and cream blushers because it is my favourite formula of blush. Blush Balm, Blush Balm, is it? What the fuck does it say? Flush Balm, not Blush Balm, Flush Balm. I have the shade Persimmon. I think as well with this one you can see I have made an incredibly good dent in that. That was a full dome on the top, it is now nearly flat. Wonderful. I really, really love this. It is throw in the bag, handbag friendly, can slick it on anywhere. It's not going to look ridiculous. It's glowy, it's dewy, it's borderline a little bit greasy on the skin. Like, I know to some people will be like, oh, that sounds like a nightmare. I love that. I love that sheeny glow on the cheeks. What I am going to say, and I said this before as well, is for longevity, this is not going to last. This is not going to be like one that you put it on in the morning and it's there in the evening. Just won't happen. It will wear throughout the day. But the reason that I love it, and especially in the summertime, because I maybe wasn't really wearing very much base, is this would be in my handbag. I would literally not need a mirror. I'd be able to go like that, tap my cheeks, and I just looked fresh, lifted, glowy, dewy, perfect. This is one of my favourite style of cream blushes, especially for summertime. But I've worn it throughout winter as well. But I understand why some people will hate this. Absolutely understand why some people will be like, this is not for me. Personally, this is fantastic. I love this. Another cream blush that I picked up over the summer and was really blown away by was the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Flushed Balm, I want to say it's called. Is it Flushed Balm? I can't remember now. Just says Yummy Skin, but I'm sure there's something to do flushed. I think that's something. I got the shade Golden Hour, which is this one here. It is stunning. These are so pigmented, incredibly pigmented, dangerously pigmented. If you're someone who feels a little uneasy about blush and you're like, oh, I don't want to like go overboard, I don't want to look like Coco the Clown, this might be a little intimidating. I'm not going to lie. But if you're like me and you're like, fucking all the blush, put on all the blush on my face, I don't care, you'll love this. You will absolutely love this. I will never finish this because of the high pigment and the amount of product. I don't think I'll ever pan that. I really don't. So nice. I've not picked up any other shades in it. Simple reason being, some of the other ones I thought, I've got something similar already. I was being kind of sensible about it, thinking I don't need any more, but these are really nice. They are really, really nice. I feel like if I seen another one in another shade that was just that wee bit different, and I thought, oh, I might pick another one up, but I don't need it, but they're very, very nice, and I did wear it loads throughout the summer. And then I want to give a little shout out to a couple of more affordable brands as well, because I was really blown away. Again, Studio London. These are their little, I think it's Lip and Cheek pigment. This one is Empower. And again, great pigment. Not as much as the Danessa, not going to lie. And not exactly the same texture as the Danessa. I feel like this one is similar to here. They're different styles. However, this one, you put it on and I think it is, again, one that may fade throughout the day. Like, it's not going to stay throughout the day, but it has that really glowy, dewy look to it, and it's a sheer wash of colour rather than like just straight up pigment on the face. It's really, really nice. But let's not forget, again, £4, I want to say. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really nice little blushers. And this one here from XX Revolution. What shade is this again? This one is called Aura, but I can't remember what this product is called. I feel like it might be like a glow balm of some sort. I know they've done it in other shades as well. I think it's a glow balm of some sort. And I feel like this is a really good dupe of the original Danessa Myricks, what is it she used to do? Duet Balm, the Duet, I'm gonna just grab the Duet Balm, hold on. This one here, the Duet Balm. This is just the clear one, and she did do it in other colours as well. So the coloured version of this, I feel like this is quite a good dupe for. Again, it is a bit more of a sheer wash of colour, but I would say this has slightly more pigment than these ones. But again, really reasonable price, really nice, and if you like that glowy blush, fantastic. Now I am going to throw these in at the end. This is definitely a tail end of the year type of situation. I think I got sent these mid to late October. I want to say that. And this is the Bijou Balm, or the Bijou Balm, talk shite. Bijou Blush from Violet FR. They reached out to me and asked if I would like to try some of them. I was like, yeah, absolutely, thank you very much. I actually had my eye on them for a while, just wasn't very sure. And they sent me out 3 of them. I think they only do 3 colours. They do this one, which is Aisa, which is what I've got on today. It's a beautiful kind of berry tone, really beautiful winter blush. They have one called Louise, which is a really nice neutral one. And they have one called Innis, which is bright pink, which I have already passed on to someone because I don't use it. But these are supposed to be matte cream blushes. I've said it a few times. I don't think these are matte. I really don't. I mean, I do have a little bit of highlight on today. But even without the highlight, I feel like these are nice, kind of satiny. There's some sort of sheen to them. And they are marbled. They're like, they have this marbled texture through them. You'll see it there. So I feel like there's something to that. Like, there's a little bit of something in this. It's not completely matte. I think it's an odd name because it almost would put some people off. This is not matte. Don't be scared of that. And they're really, really nice. I like these enough that I went and bought more products from the brand myself because I wanted to try more because I really, really like these. So this is also getting a mention for this year. Now for powder blushes, I've only got one brand to mention. I'm sorry. It's Faves. I don't really wear a powder blush that often now. I have tried a lot of really good kind of budget brands this year. The Primark one, which is the dupe for Charlotte Tilbury, I tried that this year. It was fantastic. It was so good. Like I said, I could sit here and have a whole video just talking about blush. I actually done a series of like doing a different blush every day for about a month to try all of my cream blushers on. Like, I could talk about blush till the cows come home. However, if I'm honest with myself, the powder blushes that I will reach for, the ones that I am putting in my bag if I'm going somewhere, the ones that I want to take with me if we're going on holiday or something, it's these ones. They're really, really good. These are the Sunset blushes. I have Sorbet, which was the original one I had, which is a really nice kind of coral colour. I have Malbec, which is this one here, which is beautiful for this time of year. And I have just recently purchased Pesca, which I have not even used yet. But this one is a little bit more of a peach, like a soft orange colour. So I look forward to starting to wear that. I mean, I might wear it in winter, it doesn't matter, but maybe throughout the spring, that's going to become more of a favourite. So I picked that one up quite recently and they're just great. They're really, really good blushes. They're really good powder blushes. I've mentioned this before as well, that I feel like Sorbet definitely has that kind of shifty effect, a little bit more of that of a NARS orgasm, that kind of thing. Whereas I feel like the other two, Pesca and Malbec, those are a little bit more like flat, like they don't have necessarily that sheen to them, but that might just be because I haven't used enough of the product, because Malbec is very dark in my skin, so I use it quite lightly, so I maybe just don't notice it as much. If you had darker skin, you might use Malbec and be like, oh, that sheen's there as well, but they're really, really good. Now highlighters, again, there's not going to be too much change here from the year before, I don't think. Faves Skin Dew, it's great, it's fantastic. However, I do have to say, once I became a fan of Merit, again, probably around about February, March time, this is the Day Glow Balm and I have it in the shade Bounce. It is more similar to that of a Glossier Halo Scope, except this is a lot more sheeny and like liquidy. This is a really, really smooth stick. This isn't one like, sometimes I do heat it on my fingers and tap it on, but you don't need to do that. This is so soft. It's very, very buttery in the purest sense of the word. Not when people say eyeshadows are buttery. Borderline feeling a bit greasy, but I don't feel it's greasy on the skin once like I tap it in. I've got it on today. Doesn't feel greasy to me having slightly more drier skin. I really, really enjoy this. It has been in my handbag consistently since February or March, and I think it's fantastic. Again, I just want to give another little shout out to Studio London, because this is the You Do You face gloss. Now mine's is a little tinged with colour there, but that's because I've mixed it with blushes and stuff over the year. And again, I'm pulling up this, the Danessa Myricks Dew Wet Balm, because the Danessa Myricks Dew Wet Balm, fantastic. Fell in love with it from the moment that I bought it. Thought it was great. However, this is £4, a fraction of the cost. They do the same thing. They do the same thing. I feel like the Danessa Myricks one maybe has a slight bit more tug to it. Nah, it doesn't even. Like, I was feeling it there and I'm like, nah, it doesn't. The Studio London one is not completely see-through. You can probably see that there. So I think that it kind of has a little bit of a pearlescent to it, but nothing that you're going to notice, really. It just gives you that glossy, dewy, kind of wet look to the tops of the cheeks. And if you're into that kind of thing, I love this. I think it's fantastic. Don't fault the product. But if you're into that kind of thing, save yourself some bucks, because this does the exact same thing. I'm just looking at the both of them on my hand now, and I'm like, exactly the same, because they're clear. They're pretty much clear. So I really just save yourself some bucks. Then 2 powder highlights, which again, not something that I use very often. However, everybody was talking about this one from Rare Beauty. I can't even remember what these are called now. The shade is Enlighten. It's these wee dome ones that everybody spoke about. I have to say, for a powder highlight, for someone who doesn't really wear powder highlight, this is nice. This is really nice. It is. It is a little bit, ever so slightly, circa 2014 to 16. It's got a little bit of frost going on there, but used lightly and appropriately, it's very, very beautiful. And I do think it's very, very nice. And also, again, I wanted to give a shout out to this. This is from Makeup Academy, another budget end product. This is one that's got like a shifty to it. It's like a pinky shift, gold to pink shift. And this is, it's peach something, is it not? Peach Diamond. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, especially if you are wanting that little bit hint of colour in with your highlight. So nice, so affordable. Again, is this £4 or I can't remember exactly. I'll put everything down below. So affordable. So if you do want that kind of more frosty, a little bit of a colour highlight, fucking save your money and just get this. These two are not the same. That's not what I'm trying to say. These two are not the same. This is like one of these duochrome style ones. This one is just like a really nice smooth highlight. But if this is your thing, save yourself the money. Just buy this one. Okay, so I knew this was going to be long, but I actually think I'm getting through this quite well. So, eyes. Let's talk eyes. Definitely in the summer, I wear more eye stuff, more eye makeup. However, what I am going to say is this year, I really don't have like a standout favourite palette as such. I mean, I do. I've got one to hand here. But I suppose what I'm trying to say is this year I feel I have worn less and less and less actual eyeshadow, eye colour, used a palette all over and over and over type thing. Like, I just feel like my life at the moment, because Jack and things like that, he's a toddler, it is very much one and done, quick makeup and out the door. That is my go-to at the moment. So I'm going to tell you about a few palettes here, and it's probably the ones that I can think that I've used most this year. But in saying that, I have not like used these every single day. I just feel like that part of my life at the moment is on hold because I don't have time, if I'm honest with you. Coloured liners, still love that, like a little flick of a wing of coloured stuff. But actual like heavy eye makeup, unless I was doing it for Instagram or something like that, I've just not been doing it daily. So I'm just telling you, I just want to be honest with you. But this here, the Muse palette from Cosmic Brushes, has easily been my most used palette of this year. It's absolutely beautiful. There's so many neutrals here that you can build like a really, really like insipid, just basic, nice brown winged liner, a little bit of a shimmer across the lid. It's also got these gorgeous earthy green tones, which for me stand out wildly. And then this lavendery pink section, which again, I know I've just recently bought like a pink palette, and actually it was from Cosmic Brushes. And it's not usually shades that I gravitate towards, but in the spring and in the summers, the yellows and the purple, like I am going for that. Yellows, greens, purple, like that is what I'm doing. This palette is so versatile year round. And for that reason, I have probably reached for it most. It's not been off the top of my vanity since I picked it up. Again, was this February that I picked this up? It was early on in the year, and I'm telling you right now, this has not been put away. This has sat on my vanity. I have reached for it consistently throughout the year, and the shadows and the textures and the quality are second to none. They are fantastic. So I cannot speak highly enough about this brand and about this palette. It's great. And the other palette that I just want to give a little shout out to is the Makeup Academy little 5-pan palettes, these ones here. This one is the Andromeda Skies palette. Oh, just put my finger in it. This one is the Andromeda Skies palette, which is very cool toned for me, but that's why I bought it in this mini size, because I want to know would I wear it more often or not. And it's good to have, but I definitely know I'm not a cool toned gal. So that's why I wouldn't have bought a big massive cool tone palette. But these again, great quality, great formula. They're about £3.50. They are fantastic. And I did pick up recently the Nocturnal palette from MUA, and again, quality is fantastic in that as well. So I kind of want to just give a nod to them as well, because for palettes, I feel like these are really, this is something that's impressed me this year. I just haven't been wearing that much eyeshadow, powdered eyeshadow as much. What I have been wearing loads of is one and done. One and done across the eyeshadows. So I am going to mention the Merit shadows. I know there's a bit of ambiguity around whether these are any good or not. I'm saying yes. I like them. I think they're really good, especially this one in Mid-Century. This has been a go-to. It's easy, on the eye, out the door, no issues, no problems. I really like this. I think it is a really, really nice shadow. It's such... It makes my life easier. It's indicative to my life at the moment. Would I think this is amazing 10 years ago when I was going out partying? No, I probably would have been like, yeah, fine, yeah, it's just a basic cream eyeshadow. I probably wouldn't have been like blown away by it. But at the moment, this suits my life. It suits my life. I feel like, you know, some creators, some people who are way better at this than me, bigger YouTubers who are way better than this than me, who make a living out of this, who want to like this is their career. This isn't just a hobby for them. They might feel like certain types of shadows and stuff like that, they'll be saying, this is crap, like this is rubbish, why is this so expensive, blah, blah, blah. And everybody has the right to do that. I say that about products sometimes. I don't think that we're not entitled to our opinion. It's just that everybody's opinion is very subjective. Very subjective. There's things that I like or things that I've tried that people love, and I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I feel the same about these kind of shadows, this type of shadow. If you're someone who still loves that almost, I'm going to say it. If you still love doing the kind of eyeshadow that people were doing in 2014 to 16, the big glam, cut crease, glitter, kind of almost drag-esque style makeup, nothing wrong with that. I still do that sometimes. Nothing wrong with that. No saying there's anything wrong with it. But I just feel like my life at the moment doesn't allow for that. And when I'm going out on the daily, I just feel I want to be a bit more pared down than that. I just, like, on a night out, fine. But I'm not going on any nights out. So it doesn't fit my lifestyle to be using shadows and lots of different colours and glitters and all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to talk to you about glitters in a minute. But at the moment, my life is more pared down. My life is about getting out the door on time and looking kind of presentable and maybe a little shimmer on the eye. It is that annoyingly pared down, minimalistic, like cool girl type of situation. But even in some of the trends that I've seen over the course of the last couple of years, even stuff like Half Magic and Donny Davy, yeah, it's over the top, it's glitter, it's liner, but it's done in a way where it's actually quite subtle and quite minimalistic. And so for that, even if you're putting gems on your face, it still has that kind of clean, minimal look to it, as opposed to the more drag style makeup that was being done in 2014 and 2016. So that was a long story, fucking tangent and a half. I'm just saying, just because if you think about it at the time, you think this is rubbish, maybe it's just because your makeup style hasn't moved out of a box. And maybe your life just hasn't changed. Maybe you're lucky enough that, you know, your life still allows for you to have the time to do that kind of makeup. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, let's move on to quick and fast makeup again. So, liquid shadows, absolutely my go-to as well. These ones from Gen C, really, really nice. They've got matte ones, they've got metallic ones. The metallic ones are wonderful. The matte ones are nice. They brought out a couple of new shades. I wasn't impressed with them. I thought I'll just keep the ones I have. I have Reef and Plush. They brought out ones called Shroom, Orchid, I want to say was the lavendery one, and Linen. I wouldn't bother my bum with them. They're no good for my skin tone. They done nothing for me. However, the original ones I still really, really like. The Half Magic ones as well. I bought a couple of them this year. This is the one, what's it called? Poolside? What's this called? Sky Juice. Beautiful blue periwinkle colour. Absolutely stunning. Amazing for summer months. Took it on holiday with me as well a couple of times. So nice. Easy. One. Done. Liquid shadow. These liquid glitter shadows from ELF, equally the same. Slap it on your eye. Get it on. Get out the door. Fantastic. I have the shade Copper Pop. Great. Also, Studio London do these eyeshadow pigments. I will say I find these ones are a little bit better for a base. Rather than just putting them on and squishing them on the eye, they can get a bit too sheer almost. And in some colours that's fine, like the gold it's fine, the orange it's fine, it looks really nice. This looks really glossy on the eye actually. But in some of the darker shades like the blue and the purple, it's like they're almost better as a base. But again, these are like, what, fucking £5 each or something, even if that, and they're always on offer for like 3 for 2. Brilliant for budget beauty products. Now for powder shadows, I've got my one and done as well. Urban Decay Space Cowboy. It's what I've got on today. It's just a nice little bit of shimmer, a little bit of a hint of something on the eyelid. It's lovely, it's fantastic, it's old school, it's been around for a million years, it's OG, great, and I've been using it loads. They did send me this one, but I did own it before they sent it to me. I had the old packaging. And then Bodyography, I spoke about these last year as well. This is their glitter pigments, but I'm just going to talk about 2 shades in particular because these are the 2 that I've really been reaching for this year. This one here is Solar Flare and this one here is Illusion. This was actually part of their Christmas range last year and this was sent to me. However, this one I bought myself during the summer. These are fantastic. They are a little bit pricey for what they are, I suppose. I think they're around the £22 mark. However, they will last you a lifetime and they are so effective as one and done shadows. They are great. This one here, the Solar Flare one and done, out the door. This one here over Christmas, the kind of goldy one and done, out the door, red lip. Done. So good. I love them. That is just where my life is at the moment. And I don't think that means that any of these shadows are bad. I think it just means you have to kind of think about who is going to enjoy it and who maybe won't. That's what I'm going to say. Try and be a bit more balanced in your opinion about that, because just saying that these are shit, they're not shit. There've not been millions of people saying that they're really good for them to be shit. And like I said, I was going to mention glitters because as I said, there's 2 halves to me. There's a half to me that's like, I don't have time for this shit. And then there's a half to me that's like, give me all the glitter, even though I hardly wear it anymore. So these are the Kaima Cosmetics. I'm just double checking that is, yes, Kaima. Because there's another one, isn't there? There's Clarity as well. Sometimes I get them mixed up. Kaima Cosmetics Loose Glitters. This is the one in Hollow Yellow. You may be seen this in a vlog recently. Fantastic. And this one here is called Galaxify and it looks like black in the pan. You turn it on its side, it goes red, it goes green. These are stunning. So beautiful. They had some pretty good Black Friday deals on. They've always got like some sort of little deal going on and they've got lots of codes from people as well. So if you can get your hands on some of that stuff, if that's your cup of tea. Eyeliners. So again, like I say, coloured liners through the summer. Coloured liners are my go-to because it is still an easy thing for me to do to get out the door quite fast and look effective. Barry M eyeliners, the high vis eyeliners, been using these for years. These are not new, but I wanted to mention them because I used them quite a lot over the summer. Again, the Glisten Cosmetic wet liners, I've got them in the back somewhere. I'm not even bringing them out because I can't be bothered, but I have used them loads as well. I also really want to mention this Wonder Swipe from Rimmel. This is the blue version. It's called Crave Me, this one. Fantastic. So like for the summertime, this one with this over it, match made in heaven. So nice. And another special mention that I want to give a shout out to is 1999. Now these pencils are not just eyeliners. They claim that they're all over. It's called a precision colour pencil. I have the shade Maleg. I really want to order more of these pencils because these aren't just for your eyes. You can use them on the cheeks, you can use them on the lips, all that kind of stuff. You can use them for different things. I love the texture of them. I love the vibrancy of them. They're incredibly vibrant for the shades. It's almost like a neon orange, this one. And I did want to order more. Unfortunately, the site that you can order $19.99, well, you can get them on Cult Beauty as well now, but and on Space NK. But when I was going on to look for ordering stuff from $19.99, I was looking on Revolve, I want to say, and the order just wouldn't go through, so I never ordered any more. But I'm definitely going to pick up a few other shades of this because these pencils are perfection. Now, just while I'm here and we're talking about eyes, let's do mascara. Hands down, favourite mascara of the year, Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. I don't have it to hand because I used it all up. And again, you need to order that off Revolve. And when I was trying to put that order through, it wouldn't work. So I'm going to have to look into that in January because I definitely want to own that again. It is so, so good. Also, the Oma by Sharon C Badder Boom mascara, which is available in Superdrug. Fucking fantastic. I bought 2 tubes of that this year, went through them. Great, wonderful. I am going to give a nod to the Lashy Doll because it is still up there. It's still one that I'm regularly using throughout this year. I'm going to give a shout out to the Merit as well. What is this actually called? Clear Lash? Clean Lash? I can't remember, but it's the Merit mascara. I really, really like this. I feel like in this year, this has overtaken my Glossier Lash Slick. Glossier Lash Slick was always the one I would wear to work, so there's a little bit of something there, but it's not too much. This is that, but bigger and better. This is a tubing mascara. However, because it has a classic mascara wand there, it's got a brush. Instead of the plastic wand, it looks more voluminous. It looks more like feathery, fluffy, smoky on the lashes. It's fucking lovely. This one is on its last legs. Again, had this since February or March. It needs to go in the bin. There's not much left of it, but I would purchase another one. And the Vive Modern Mascara. I think I've alluded to this a few times, but I feel like I've not really given it a good explanation because I hadn't really used it enough yet. So this mascara is quite expensive for a mascara, but so is this one. And why do I think this one is fantastic and keep wanting to speak about it, whereas this one I'm on the fence about? Because to me, psychologically, this looks heavy, weighty, luxurious, like high impact mascara. You know, if you were to buy a Maybelline mascara and it says XXL, colossal, you expect it to be XXL, colossal, don't you? Obviously. That doesn't say this, but that's what this packaging says to me. Maybe that's something wrong with me. But I look at this and I'm like, this looks like it should be a really beautiful, big, bushy, volumizing mascara. This ain't that. It just ain't. This is an everyday mascara. And I feel like maybe that's why so many people love it, because if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of lashes, maybe you're slightly older or something and you're like, yeah, I don't want big, big fluffy lashes. I just want to look like I've got some lashes there. And a lot of people I've seen, like even when I went into the Vive pop-up shop, there was women in their 60s and 70s buying this and they were raving about it, talking about how much they loved it. So I get it, like other people are going to like it. Psychologically though, my brain is telling me this should be more than what it is. That's all. It's not a bad product. It's just I feel this should be more than what it is, and I can pick up ones that I like better, cheaper in the drugstore or from other brands that I just prefer. So I won't buy one of these again. I'm just a little like, meh, it's a nice everyday mascara. But look at it, it should be more than that. That's all I feel. Let's do brows as well. 1980 Brow from Merit. I really, really enjoy this product. I hate the spoolie. I wish they would change it. But it is the one I've probably worn most of this year. And then this one came in, I want to say, later on in the year. This is the Brow Define Tinted Brow Mascara with Fibre from Makeup Academy. Again, very, very affordable, but absolutely fucking fantastic. So good. Very dark. So like, I have dark hair and dark eyebrows anyway, but very pigmented. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. So just be wary, but very, very good. And then the brow glue, very, very nice as well. I got this in the tinted one as well, in the dark brown. I don't feel like that really makes any difference. I think you'd be as well getting the clear one, but I think the actual product itself is really good for holding the brows up, keeping them there, and doing a really good job. The MUA one is a little bit more like fluff and hold and pigment. Next one, glue, and the 1980 Brow I feel is like fluff and hold, but just the spoolie. I just don't like the spoolie. All right, we are into the last stretch. I'm sorry this went on forever. Let's talk lipsticks. So first of all, again, the Merit lipsticks. I think they are lovely. I own this one and it's called L'Avenue. I definitely am going to pick up a few other colours because I love this formula. It's so comfortable. It's nicely pigmented. You can make it look sheer or you can really build it up. I think it's great. The Glossier Ultra Lips again, every year. I just think they're fantastic. They're so easy. They're that balmy type of texture. They've got a nice pigment to them as well. Easy breezy out the door makeup, again, for my life at the moment. Just works really well. Now I'm going to mention these two because obviously I feel like they kind of come into the same category as that easy breezy out the door type thing. This is the Vive Satin Slip lipstick and I got mine in Kink. I feel like this isn't as good as the Glossier Ultra Lips. For me, the Glossier Ultra Lips has maybe less pigment. This is a little bit more pigment, but this feels more like a classic lipstick to me. It doesn't feel like the Vive lipsticks, but it's not as balmy as other ones like that I've used. So I actually won a free one of these at the pop-up shop and I'm kind of like, I wouldn't have bought another one. They're fine. I just wouldn't have spent more money on another one. That's all. I just have other ones I prefer. And then this one here, the Bijou Balm from Violet FR. If you watched that video, I was like, I'm not blown away by that. And then I swear to God, over the last 10 days to 2 weeks, this is all that's been in my bag. It's all that's been in my bag. It's what I've been wearing constantly. Now that that first kind of layer has scraped off when I'm putting it on, the colour is beautiful. It's easy. I don't need a mirror. I can swipe it on. This is more matte though. This doesn't have that. It's called Bijou Balm and it's very comfortable. Feels like Glossier Ultra Lips, but Glossier Ultra Lips has a sheen to it. This is matte. This is totally and utterly matte. So different products, but I will throw these in my bag, equally throw them in my bag and use them for different things. So my mind is slightly changed on this one and I do quite like it. Another one that kind of came in late this year, because obviously the Bijou Balm I've just tried as well, is the Fenty Beauty Pro Kisser. And this is in Latte Lips. Michaela McDade influenced me to try this and it is fantastic. It's so good. This with just a little bit of a lip liner underneath. You're out the door. It's easy to go. It's definitely a lip balm. It is not a gloss. It does have a sheen to it. However, it doesn't feel heavy on the lips. It doesn't feel sticky or anything like that. It is so comfortable. Now, I obviously am going to include the Vive lipsticks because I love them. My favourite one is Lara. It's probably the one I go to the most. However, what I am going to say is, and I think I've mentioned this before as well, the Lip Dew, I could take or leave it. I'm not that fussed for it. Just, I don't know. If you're a gloss gal, then maybe you'll feel different, but this I could take or leave. And I also want to say these e.l.f. O Face lipsticks, really good dupe. Not exact, but really good dupe. This is a satin lipstick. This one is a matte, but I always feel like the matte lipsticks from Vive are a little bit more satin. They're not a true matte, the way you would get a MAC matte, if that makes sense to anybody. It's not that liquidy lipstick matte feeling like the one that I've got on the now. The Vive ones have more of a satin feel, and these, really good dupe for them. I have the shades No Regrets and Standing Ovation. Standing Ovation is gorgeous. It's probably the closest shade I've got to a nude for me, and it's brilliant. I really like it. They're really nice packaging as well. It feels nice, high quality packaging. I think they are £9, so they are a little bit more expensive for e.l.f., but they're very good. And lastly, I'm just going to talk about lip liners because there's only two to tell you about. The Vive ones in various shades. I've got a few of them now, and the Rimmel long lasting, is it long lasting or lasting something? I can't see because it's rubbed off here. Lasting Finish 8-hour long wear lip liner, and I like the shade Spice, but they are fantastic. And I'm just looking over my desk here thinking, have I fucking mentioned everything? I'm pretty certain that I have. I know this video has been a long one, so if you are still here, thank you so much. Tell me what has been your favourite things of 2023, and tell me as well, what do you think the trends are going to be for 2024? What are you hoping to see? And what are you hoping to leave behind? Let me know. And I will see you all again in the next one. Bye.